the economy starts to reopen a little bit, a lot of discussion is being had now about contact tracing. And we understand it because as we all start to move around a bit and interact with other people, the medical community has to have some way of figuring out if someone becomes infected and becomes ill, who else they've been in contact with, so we can stop or slow the spread. Because as we've all heard the stories, one person comes in who's infected and the next thing you know there's 16 people or 18 people or 30 people that are infected just from that one person. So if someone does become ill as we start to move around, we want to find out where the points of contact were so we can quarantine those people so they don't go out and now infect another 16, 18, 30 people, because it gets exponentially out of hand very quickly. And we understand that. However, we also feel that we're not sure we really want to be tracked continuously, particularly maybe by a government or a big corporation, because we've all realized that there's been a lot of cases lately where our data was being used places and got out places that we didn't even know about, and we're no longer okay with that either. So it becomes this delicate balance here. And we decided to think about this, and we realized that Mileage Trakker actually has a solution that we think can help you. For those of us who drive for business, Mileage Trakker has always been a service that tracks where your trips for your reimbursement for mileage purposes. And we get people a lot of money and everyone's been very happy. But one of the problems that we did solve was the fact that for people like salespeople, they often felt the same way. If they were driving their own personal vehicle, they didn't really want everywhere they'd ever gone for business or personal going to their employer or someone else, a third party. And our system, we created a system where the data only goes to the driver and then they release it to their company, just the part that belongs to them, so they can get their mileage reimbursement and the rest of their data stays private. And we realized we can do the same thing with contact tracing, because one of our big advantages is we are a private corporation. We're not a government, we're not a big corporation, and we don't sell anyone's personal data for any reason. Only down the road we may use aggregate data, but we use personal data is an absolute no, and we are a privately held company. So what we can do for contact tracing is provide you with your data. And then should you ever get sick, God forbid, or you get that phone call that says you've been exposed and you need to quarantine, and then I want to know where you've been for the last 14 days and who you may have spoken to and so forth, then you can produce your data and say these are places I have been and what I've done, there, and so they would know who to contact. And if you don't get exposed, you don't get sick, or it's no longer in a time frame that matters, you don't release the data anywhere, and so they don't have it. So I think that's one of the things that concerns us the most. We don't want to be under continuous surveillance, by anyone that we're not sure what they're doing with our data. But I think we all actually are happy to help control the spread of the virus, and none of us, I don't think, want to be the one that feels like I didn't do my part and then someone got really sick and ended up on a ventilator and that was my fault, sort of thing. We don't want to think like that. I think we do want to protect as many people as we possibly can, and our loved ones and our neighbors and our friends and everyone else. So this, I think, is a great solution. So hit us up at Mileage Trakker and find out how this can work for you, business drivers, because that way we can still be reopening the economy in a safe way and staying in control of our data and the privacy of our data, and still being part of the solution should we get exposed to the virus. Thanks so much. Reach out to us and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.